Hi, I am Paula Wicks and I have just come from the business district where sadness comes through like an energetic wave because there is sorrow on the high street for the lack of customers that are coming through the front door, and the budgets and the targets and the sales are not being met. So head office is setting targets and the girls on the shop floor and the boys, you know, you can't hustle a horse to water. And if, you know, the government is telling you to put your buck back in your wallet, then that energetic wave of 3 years of fear, propaganda, and the diet of what was coming is decimating our industries. And we need to start rebuilding. So I dialed into a local radio station and it was very interesting. He was factual, fun, modern, correct, and told the truth, not the propaganda media rhetoric that is read on the news. So this man said how long the New Zealand Parliament sits, how much time they have off, and now they want another year. So very, very interesting, because that is a soft dictatorship tactic of moving the goalpost. And that's another story, but I won't go there. So we need economic recovery. We have mental awareness, health crisis issues. We have lack of confidence. We have people who are not speaking. They don't want to vote. They have lost hope, and their livelihoods are going down the gurgler. With that comes a lot of heartache, a lot of sorrow. It is an energetic burden that we have been carrying under the decree of kindness. And I think those mamas and papas who actually know truth and actually know how to create principles and steward a house and keep a budget and help those who are vulnerable, who are very vulnerable, because there is a playbook and there is an agenda when you remove somebody's livelihood and then you create dependency on the government. And I was grieved to hear these departments of wanting more money because they had aged 10 years, which was a sign that they needed to be paid by the governing body. Give me more, leech, suck, breasty, entitlement. Creativity comes from the realm of rest, and we need creative, innovative solution, thought leaders, champions. And there are rearguards. There's the gumboot parade. They know who's who in the local zoo, and they go into the house. So if you are struggling with your mental health portfolio, government, I am more than happy to take that $120,000 portfolio with multi-million-dollar budget and put it at my table with my councillors, with my advisory governing board. They're already on the streets, they're already in the airways, there are already internationals, they're already doing the work. And funny enough, they're not getting paid. They wake up with passion. They have their why and they know their reason. Give me money. Give me some of your honey. So bees, let me remind you, let me pause for a moment. Aotearoa, New Zealand is a land and a people, and it's a melting pot. There are all tribes and tongues living within our borders. You have stewarded and guarded the children with creativity in your numbers and the spreadsheeting. You know, I don't quite know how much a motel costs to put a family of 4 in and feed them for extended periods of time. But we make way, we make space, we make room, because now we're bringing in other refugees to come heal in our land. Mothers and fathers don't intimidate foreigners as they come into our soil. So the ruling body of council that is kind and loving and supportive and true doesn't have false fathers, doesn't have false mothers. It is an intergenerational well-being platform. You spoke at the National Council, the supreme authority, the 5 governing bodies that are vetoing. In New Zealand, we operate in intergenerational well-being and holistic medicine that is good for the soul and the mind. You just need to look outside the beehive to find those qualified to do the work that your people aren't getting out of bed to do, and you're paying them. Your fractured table is not a cabinet, and it's not leading. You did a fantastic job. You were appointed for the volcanoes, the tsunamis, the virus, the tail end of hysteria that came through with the tin hats and the submarines and the tunnels and the Hillary Clintons and the altars and the child sacrifices and the slave trade that was trafficking in children and abused children. You know that came home to roost because your local people said that that was under the beehive. But that's another story for another day. Before we forget, because we love, and I have been walking with the energy sadness of the business district that is in the last death throes, trying to hold on in the 3rd year of sanctions. Let me read something, because love covers and is not a false father nor a false mother. Those betrayals Our Father, the merciful Father, who acts mercifully, have mercy upon us, instill in our hearts to understand and make plain, straight, clear, so that we can listen, learn, teach, safeguard, perform, and fulfill all the words of the living instruction, teaching with love. Enlighten our eyes, attach our hearts, unify our hearts to love. We will not feel inner shame for all eternity, because we have trusted in your great and awesome, holy name. May we be glad, happy, and dance and rejoice again. Not drinking our sorrows in bitter root judgment and depression and addiction, while the children break into the dairies with drive-through smash and grab because the family's starving, or they've got to pay the dealer on the corner of the hood because he thinks he's in America and the Prince of Bel-Air is watching and he's going to get his break and he's going to get his contract. Bring us in peacefulness from the four corners and lead us with upright respect. A lot of the elderly are going home. And I was speaking to a beautiful Tongan man who's a carer for another elderly man. And he loves doing that. And he was in black for a month of mourning. And I said, yes, that is a principle. And I asked who the elders were and whether they were good people. Intergenerational welfare and dependency is a strong mind control, and it has a hold. We need to be better and rebuild and reframe and establish for the future of our generations going forward. That is why the grandmothers and the grandfathers who are here in the land of the living, who walk in the dust, will rise up and speak. God bless. Please pray for your neighbor. Remember kindness. Carry the burden of others when they are bound in sorrow, and let the grief go. Light a candle. Show respect. Listen. Be kind.